I know I may seem awash in warm, welcoming sentiment, but I have a war to win. You ain't aiding me. You're wasting valued time. Let me spin you a yarn. One of my elite regiments ceased replying to hails several weeks ago. Hardy bunch. Fought all across the system. Yesterday, the Protectorate launched the regiment commander's upper torso into one of our encampments, which makes 2 1/3 complete corpses of a 6-person unit. Mocking us. Calculating bastards, the Protectorate. Would admire their efficacy if it weren't taking so many of my best and brightest. Once the fighting reignites in full, they'll pay dearly. Seen the crimson side of a battlefield, have you? Do tell. Sounds like you're more than competent when the situation requires a little elbow grease. Good to know. Good that you're versed in combat. Will serve you well in Arcadia, like it served me. If you must kill, best to do it well. You may not believe it, but high amid my many goals is bringing an end to the fighting in Arcadia as soon as possible. Looks better for my record, after all. Competence recognizes competence. Get into that facility and make certain it won't ever function again. I look forward to hearing your results.
this talk I'm always hearing about middle and lower management?
Well, the middle managers assign all the hard work to the lower managers, who pass that work on down to the bottom rungers. The bottom rungers work just hard enough so they won't get their...
Ask them defectors if they miss anything about protectorate life.
10 bits they said community.
Yep, community.
We did it! Checked off the final skill-building task. Scavenge a seaworthy raft, then set a course for promotion. If only we had a bottle of Spectrum Red to christen the thing.
Don't think you want to hit that floating rubbish pile with any bottles.
Pipe down, Cobb. I have every confidence in my handmade vessel. Sleek, sturdy, reasonably buoyant, perfect execution. Assembled with no help from you, I might add.
For the last time, I have indigestion.
Uh-huh. Sooner we reach the northern tip of the northern island, the sooner we get our promotions. Help me get there, Cobb, and law as my witness, I'll make you my assistant VP.
Ooh, pinch me.
This is Sanitation Specialist Cutshaw, soon-to-be graduate of the Promotion Acceleration Program, shoving off for our final destination.
Unauthorized entry into an arbiter training facility is likely to result in violent arbitration. Entering a hostile zone. Enemies detected. Please exercise caution.
This stretch runs between Fairfield and the Eastern Forward Operating Base. North of here is an old abandoned chapel. Dang, I ought to be charging for information.
Careful of friendly fire if you head down past the farm. Last time we wandered past, they opened fire on us. A real code 472.
Oh great, a 472. Been a while since I had to dodge bullet spray.
Word is Milver Street is ordering a watch on the Protectorate survivors in Westport. Wants any changes reported.
I hate that kind of work. It always sounds like so much effort. That kind of thing ain't even on my contract.
Milver Street is offering bits rewards for anything of import we can tell him.
But I do love bits. Come on, friend. Let's go set our lamps on something juicy for Milver Street.
I don't even want to think about the damage those crabbles are gonna do to my machines.
They're crabbles. They ain't gonna do nothing to your precious terminal. Only thing they're a danger to was us.
Yeah, you may have the right of it. I just ain't certain.
I am trapped inside the research lab at the former site of the Eden's Bounty Agri-Center. You must help me. You must! My subordinates have become homicidally irritable, though remain unaccountable for their actions. Find me in the renovated grain silo. Help me formulate a cure. Hello? Calling out to any random, non-kill crazed passerby who can hear this? Yes, you! I am trapped inside the research lab at the former site of the Eden's Bounty Agri-Center. You must help me. You must! My subordinate...
Scout, report.
Yes, sir. Looks like the repair center is still out of order, sir.
Excellent. At ease, Scout. Glad to hear that they haven't managed to repair it, even if Command has temporarily put the actual fighting to a stop.
Who goes there? By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here?
Now you've done it. Slowing down a ranking protectorate official is worth 10, 20 demerits if you're lucky.
All right, let's not lose our heads over a simple misunderstanding. You're free to pass. Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new arrivals personally. We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight. Oh, and fair warning, watch out for ziranium gas. We sprung a leak. How observant of you. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero tolerance for lawbreakers.
that matters is getting these automechs to the Vox relay station.
But Marshal, we must adhere to decontamination procedures.
Oh, unfamiliar clientele. I was just lamenting the lack of new faces around here since supplies stopped arriving. And then you walk in. Name's Hazel. I'm sort of the acting quartermaster around these parts. You need any supplies, talk to my friend the quartermech here. Passed during the attack. Got his face melted clean off by this weird goo. And he was one of the lucky ones. Excuse the mess, by the way. Auntie gave us a pummeling a few weeks back. The old wardens paid the price. Where their courage faltered, a little mental refreshment should do just the trick. That's what I always say. Why overcomplicate perfection? Now what'll it be? Aw, I really need someone else to test this thing. Tell you what, if you give it a go and have any trouble, I'll be happy to get you sorted.
Greetings, potential customer. State your business. All wares should be perfectly visible already.
Sorry, it tends to take things too literally. Maybe try phrasing the request differently.
Lull detected. Conversational status uncomfortable.
Does that one compute, big guy?
Affirmative. Initiating commerce is one of this unit's default commands. Initiating commerce.
See you soon, I hope.
That way lies chaos. Start your day dutifully with
Give me a sec. Almost done with this work list. Another sealant failure, amplifier requisition, and 2 more cases of ziranium exposure. We're a mite bit busy these days. I'm afraid so, and you were wise not to get involved. The Marshal is under a lot of pressure to deliver Automecs to the Vox relay station, but I'm responsible for their quality control. If even a single Automech steps out of line, it will be the end of me. Brigadier Montelli does not accept excuses, and he does not tolerate failure. The Marshal is a good man, but he values speed while I value accuracy. Neither of us is wrong, but in this case, we both can't be right. You'll want to see the quartermaster. She's right next to the gate you entered through, under the Marshal's office. She'll only be able to sell you our surplus, but you might find some of it useful.
Oh yes, I adore interruptions. I was just saying, what's best for stoking the spark of invention? Regular disruptions to one's train of thought. Now, what is it you want? Oh, we'll get to that presently. Now tell me, are you familiar with ziranium gas? One and the same. That building took the brunt of the damage during a recent attack, and now it's spewing valuable ziranium all over the place. I could speak at length about ziranium's many captivating intrinsic qualities, but suffice it to say, in its gaseous state, it's rather deadly. So what am I endeavoring to create? A protective device that shields its wearer from ziranium's remarkably unsavory effects, as well as other forms of harm. Quite splendidly, if I do say so myself. The principal function of the device is confirmed operational. I merely need to work out some minor implementation concerns. Alas, while I'm occupied with inventing this shield gadget, I also find myself in need of assistance regarding its key components. Good. Wonderful. As an added incentive, I'll allow you to keep one of the prototypes once the work is finished, so you be sure to give it your all. Now here, you'll need this apparatus. It's for collecting stray ziranium effluvium. Gas, that is. My supply is running low from all the iterative testing I've been performing. Merely activate the device once it's inside a ziranium cloud, the one around the main hangar specifically. Try to avoid any fields of dense ziranium, or death is all but assured. Any questions? Normally, yes, but on the off chance that environmental exposure has altered the gas here in any way, I'll want to work with local samples. Ideally, the resulting shielding will protect against any gas, but since it's of utmost importance that it work on the gas here, I'll be calibrating against that. Well, of course, obviously. To that end, I'd suggest choosing a cloud of lesser density for your collection efforts. Lower chance of near-instant death that way. If you suffer prolonged exposure, assuming you survive, see our local medical officer next door. She is highly preoccupied by the treatment of Ziranium-related maladies. I believe that covers all the necessary education for this particular assignment. Oh, so exhilarating to have a new subordinate. I look forward to thoroughly scrutinizing your work. Now, shoo-shoo! Off with you now! Gather those samples! Shoo!
Commander, I think this stuff is eating my lungs from the inside.
Brings you to this fine establishment?
Caught a piece of shrapnel during the attack. What about you?
Ziranium poisoning. Only a mild case, but the doctors are withholding treatment to study my symptoms.
Sovereign's mercy. How do you feel?
Downright privileged is how I feel. Sick with pride, nauseous with courage, and chronically fatigued with honor.
Oh, a new arrival. Oh, and what's this? You, I dare say, are exhibiting clear signs of Ziranium exposure, stranger. Fortunately for you, you appear to have a fairly mild case. I imagine you haven't even noticed any symptoms yet. If you'd indulge me, I have a few questions I'd like to ask, for medical posterity, and so on and so forth. I'm afraid I require more information before I can render treatment. That will ensure you get the care you need, and it will only cost your time. First question, can you describe the conditions in which you were exposed to the Ziranium? Ah, another assistant. Should have guessed. I suppose I should be grateful for all the data she sends my way, but I do wish Dell would think more of her collaborators' well-being. All right, next question. How are you feeling? For instance, do your bones seem noticeably softer somehow? Have you observed any sterility on your way in? Or aching in your thyroid or spleen? Well, good for you. Keeping a positive attitude can often aid your recovery. I wish more of my patients shared your optimistic disposition. As promised, you're due a round of advanced Ziranium therapy of the highest possible quality. Apologies for any severe discomfort you may have experienced in the interim. There, that should do it. Do stop back in if you suffer additional exposure. I would love, be pleased to act as your consulting physician again, should the need arise. Oh, gladly. I've rather dedicated my life to researching its unique form of matter. What would you like to know? Ziranium is a crystal. Even in its raw form, it generates energy. But once refined and stored in a quasi-gaseous state, its output increases exponentially. Ziranium is found in a liquid state as well, but it's far too hazardous and inefficient for our needs. Refined ziranium is used to power nearly all major protectorate technology. It's an amazingly efficient power source. However, it's also highly unstable and must be mined exceedingly carefully. Even minor bumps or jolts can cause ziranium crystals to explode. Ziranium in its default crystalline state poses two risks. First, it's extremely volatile, exploding with an immense burst of energy if upset in any way. Second, ziranium crystals produce a small amount of gas, which we think helps stabilize its crystalline lattice, but that's just a theory. In this gaseous state, ziranium is quite hazardous, breaking down organic matter through a mechanism we still don't quite understand. The concentration of the gas is a critical factor. A person could remain in a light haze for several minutes, whereas a dense cloud can kill near instantly. Anyhow, I could talk about this all day if I let myself. Hope I haven't bored you unduly. Was there anything else I could help you with? Total avoidance is best, but try to get out of the ziranium as quickly as you can if exposure becomes necessary. Come to think of it, there may be some exciting new breakthroughs in the near future. Our visiting scientist next door is working on a device that shields the user from ziranium's effects, though she was having a spot of trouble last I heard.
My little minion. I trust you've made progress in your tasks? What did I tell you? Perfectly safe. Either that or you tolerate ziranium poisoning like a champ. Good for you. Should you suffer from any lingering symptoms of contamination, visit the medical center and they'll get you squared away. Now, on to business. The device already generates a field exactly as specified, albeit on a very small scale. Still, progress is progress. What's needed now is something to help extend and shape the field around the user. Capital deduction! Where have you been all my career? You'll be pleased to learn there's one right here at the facility, in the Dragoon that's patrolling just outside. You guessed correctly. Our chief mechanist was rather hostile to the idea. So you may have trouble getting your hands on the catalytic amplifier. Oh, certainly. They're all in the building blocked by ziranium gas, which is why we're making the device. I trust you see how that's a problem. However, I do recall hearing this facility was originally assigned 2 Dragoons. I'm not sure what happened to the other one, though. It was gone by the time I arrived. I'm sure he's just being cautious. Should Auntie's choice attack us, we don't want to be caught defenseless. No doubt he also seeks to retain an unspoiled automech, since the others are by now riddled with ziranium poisoning. Dragoons are a mainstay of our military. The design has been in production for decades. I had a model of one when I was young. All children did. You must have seen the large automech patrolling the interior grounds. That is the Dragoon. Good. A flexible mindset should behoove you on this task. Perhaps the chief mechanist will prove more receptive to your request. Failing that, be prepared to exercise creativity if needed. One last thing. The Dragoon must not be harmed. Not only would the amplifier likely be damaged, but we'd both be summarily executed, assuming we survive the firefight that ensued. Well, off you go. Shoo.
If you need something, kindly make it quick. She and I have been over this 100 times. Please understand, the original staff of this facility were rounded up and refreshed because they couldn't safeguard a protectorate asset. Why should I follow their example by reducing our sole working Dragoon to a pile of unpatriotic scrap? I can't. I won't. If you're really so desperate, you can track down our second Dragoon. Damn thing wandered up the coast and hasn't been seen since. I'd have sent someone to retrieve it myself, but Dragoons are stubborn when their instructions are unclear. Good hunting. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's work to be done.
Well, any closer to obtaining the catalytic amplifier? Oh, superb! I'm almost tempted to ask how you managed it. But pressing on, just a moment to remove what I need and install it in the prototype. With this gadget, you'll be shielded against more than ziranium, you know. Damn near everything, as long as it's charged. Now, report to Marshal Donaldson, if you please. He's rather impatient to end this crisis so he can turn his focus back to the war. Don't thank me. Just doing my part for the sake of the paradigm, same as anyone.
Chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure. Uranium exposure rate appears to be unaffected. Test model displayed standard overload-induced paralysis, then became atypically aggressive. Forced to terminate test model in self-defense.